In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to install and use the Overlock Foot. So this foot right here is designed to be used on a standard sewing machine in place of a serger. So if you don't have a serger, you can use this foot and the techniques demonstrated to finish the seams as you sew. This is great for sewing with knits as well as other stretch fabrics and elastics. So to install this foot, I am just removing my existing standard presser foot, and I am pushing this underneath so that the shank will grab that bar. And then I have that foot installed on the machine and I am ready to sew. And once I have the foot installed on this machine, I'm going to select number 3, which is my overlock stitch. That is the basic overlock stitch, or it's called the very overlock. I also have the option on this machine to select another stitch, which is on this one, it's stitch number 13, and that allows me to do a stretch overlock. So depending on the technique I'm using in the fabric and exactly what I'm doing, I could use either version with this presser foot. In this first example, I'm just going to show you with white thread on red fabric how the overlock stitch wraps the edge of the fabric. So we have the pin on the foot back here, this little bar, and the thread is going to wrap around it. So we'll line up the edge of the fabric with that interior bar of the foot, and then the needle is going to come down and wrap the edge on every stitch. So you can see how that's pushing it out to the outside and it's creating a loop around the edge of the fabric. And that's how that looks wrapped around the edge. So that is a simple overlock stitch, similar to a serger. Now you can also use a zigzag stitch on your machine to do this technique to simply finish seams. I do that all the time, and it allows you to get a smaller finish if you would like to, but you have to sew your straight stitch seam first, and then you would finish the edges, or you could finish the edges of your pieces and then assemble your garment with straight stitch seams. This foot and this stitch selection allow you to do both at the same time. Now for this next example, I'm going to show using the overlock foot and that stitch selection to attach a neck binding. And now for this one, this is really good. It allows you to stitch the neck seam with a little bit of give and stretch in it, and at the same time finishing that edge. So it reduces the bulk and it helps have a nice clean finish on the inside. So I have this piece of neck binding cut. It's folded in half and it's pinned at center front right here, lined up with all the raw edges. So I have it pinned here and I have it pinned at my shoulder seams, but it is stretched a little bit to fit the opening, so I don't have it pinned all the way around. So to start this one, I'm going to line these up together at center back and line up this edge right here, right under the presser foot. And now I'm going to sew this interior neckline seam. So you can see how that's stitching down and that's wrapping the edge of the fabric. So I just want to make sure that I have this stretched to fit this neckline. So you can see here around the back that is creating a seam similar to a serger where it is stitching and wrapping this edge at the same time. So there you can see that again. Here is that finished edge and it wraps around both sides. So I have a finished edge and I can flip that neck binding up to the inside. Now this has a pretty good shape right here. I actually don't have very much of this shirt stretched out at all. But just to finish this off, I'm going to take it back over and just press this with steam, and that'll really help set this neckline very nicely. And here we have that. It's pressed down very nicely. And then on the inside, we have a very clean finished edge, and that was all done at one time, one stitch all the way around the neckline.